What up, everybody? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you're gonna sit down for a nice, comfy 4 hours of Phantasy Star IV NMG, but we're not gonna do that. We are gonna do the new any percent. I have no idea how long it's gonna take, and I could live PB like my hero Dusler, or I might be here for a while. I don't know, but here we are. If you thought you were gonna plan around the schedule, well, you're just fucked. All right, are we ready? But that being said, stick around after this run for the winners of the PPMA contest. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Here we got our boy Chaz Ashley, fresh out of training, ready to hang out with his mentor Alice. And we're going to do some things here that are going to look exactly the same as NMG, so not much to say right now. Monsters that even fuckos like Chaz have a job. And then I just want to ask Chad a question of how long into this run will it be until Dusler starts fishing on World of Warcraft? Feel free to chime in. Messages, fast battles, weapon layout. Take off Chaz's helmet and armor. Talk to the principal. So he's telling you that they got a monster problem in the basement, and they want you to take care of it discreetly. And we're professionals, so we're like, cool. And we're like, that's weird though, because monsters usually don't hang out in human civilization. And then he's like, shut the hell up and just do it. And we're like, alright. And then we get excited about the prospect. So we're running hard right now. Boner and cloner. Achieved. We're going to talk to our boy Han here. He wants to check stuff out, but he's got this medical condition called being a bitch. And he's just waiting for us so that we can head on in there and get shit done. Alright, let's go. So now we're going to head into the basement. We're just going to run from every encounter. I do eventually want to level up Chaz to 4, but this place is just not worth the time. Something that's going to happen just a little bit differently here is we're going to take a detour if I ever stop getting encounters. And then I'm going to grab this chest of 100 Masetta here for some reason. That's new. And we're just going to continue. Then we're going to fight Iggy, who ever since taking on this route, I have yet to get the quick fight, but I kind of feel like in this route, you probably do want to fight him, but we'll just see what happens. I'm just gonna kill him, I don't care. You could run from him though. If you stun him and it lands and it persists, you can actually run away from the boss fight, but I want the experience, and I'm not going to do anything differently on a live run, so it's like, whatever. Frickin' Chaz, dude, go. Idiot. Whatever. It's fine, everything's fine. Alright, we did it. Yeah, so it looks like we're the ones making the monsters. Interesting. So now we're gonna go confront the principal. And then from here on out, it's still just like straight RNG in a lot of ways. So even in this first dungeon, it's like per encounter I lose time, and if I fail to run, I lose time. We didn't get any run failures, so we got that going for us. But we did have like 6 encounters or something like that, which is a lot. Because you can easily, well, maybe not easily, but usually it's like 2. Now it's time to bully a little bit, figure out what's going on. And then you get some backstory about Zio. Yeah, we'll see Zio. We'll say hi. Let's go. Now we got some walking to do. Just like Phantasy Star II yesterday. And we're gonna do a lot of standard stuff, so we still need to head to Zima and check out that cutscene and all that jazz. I'm still gonna stop by Mile also. I don't think you need to, but old habits kind of die hard, so... And it probably would have been worth it anyway, maybe. Because it will kind of reset the encounter, but like, I got one right before the town anyway, so it didn't really do anything, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's a mini worm. Very familiar with the mini worm. Flatter plant. I've never actually noticed the name of that before. So we are still following the standard story. You figure out where your missing scientists are. They're here, and they've been turned to stone. And you heard of a town nearby that has a little potion that can cure it, so that's where we're gonna head next. This is all standard stuff. I've not done anything funky yet. And again, the only changes against the NMG speedrun is that I've taken off Chaz's gear, and I picked up that chest, both of which are actually important. Nice walk. Sometimes lucky. We'll go ahead and talk to Rune now. Pick him up. Oop. Basically, this this town got owned by Zio, but he's telling you there's another spot you can go, and he's gonna join us, which is cool because Rune's pretty buff right now. And because he's buff, you might know that maybe he will eventually leave you. Hold on. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that doesn't happen, because we like our boy Rune. He's cool. So from here, we're still gonna head to Tenno. We're still gonna fight levels. This time I don't have a money requirement that I'm looking for. Instead, I am looking to level Chaz to 4 and then stop fighting completely. And yeah, and the way I'll know that is because he learned Sue at level 4, so I'm not really paying attention to who's leveling. I'm really just, once I see that word Sue, then I know I'm at the right spot. And then I'll just, if I get any more encounters from there, then I'll just run. I don't need, yeah. So we're not worried about money or anything like that. Just kind of for the sake of consistency, I will stay here until I hit level 4. You could just move on and get your later encounters elsewhere, but yeah. And it looks like we will be staying here for a while, because why would you ever get an encounter in a dungeon, right? There we go. Awesome. So we'll be here for a bit. I think I'd probably need at least 3 more. It really depends on what the fights are. This is good. And one of the things I'm also trying to be very careful about is that, yes, I want to level Chaz to 4, but I don't actually want to update his stats. It's an unavoidable glitch, I guess, in the game, where the game doesn't actually update anybody's stats outside of their max HP and TP when you level, until you go into their status screen, reorder the party, or go into their equipment. So I'm actually going to try to make sure I don't do any of those things, because I don't want to update Chaz's stats as he levels. Yeah, so you just hit it right there. Alright, so this is where things are going to get a little fancy. We'll see how long it takes me to get it to be fancy, but this is where things are going to change a little bit. So I'm going to buy two Krabbin shields, as Rename would say. And I'm going to put those on Rune. And I'm going to buy 10 Monomates for later. And normally then you're supposed to go up to this tent here and talk to the grandfather, and you lose Rune and you get Grizz. But like I said, I like Rune. Rune's our boy. So I'm gonna go ahead. Ooh, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and bypass that. We're gonna skip that. Let's see what we can do here. And then we're gonna try to work some magic here. Warp through and bypass all the barriers and stuff like that. So the kind of gist of it is that if you confirm something on the menu and then hit B on a specific frame of the menu's closing, then you end up glitching and storing the menu. So you kind of do that a couple times, and the outcome is a couple of different things. So number one, once you do that weird glitch, you mess with the game's ability to remember how many menu windows are open, and so you actually kind of put the game into thinking they're negative menus open, and so every time I open a brand new menu, it'll count up, right, to 0. And the game's programming under normal circumstances will say, oh, you're in the menu, you have 4 windows open, so if you B out to 0 menus, then the game will let you walk. But because we were in negative number, as I opened menus, it went from, you know, whatever, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0. And then once it was at 0, I was able to walk. That's one component of it. The other component is that the game tries to cast Ryuka, but like kind of halfway cancels it, so it didn't teleport me out, but still the game thinks it's kind of on a different map. So I was able to bypass the barriers that were there because I was technically on a different map, even though I was also on the same map, and it's not something I can pretend that I understand completely, but that's kind of what's going on there. So we were able to bypass the triggers by doing that. We're going to do something very similar here. So this, again, we're gonna kind of, this time we're more like storing location. And then I'm just gonna save there. And when I reload the game, I will end up close to Aedo here. And we can go ahead and just, this allows us to skip like Rika and the Biolab and all that stuff. And we can just continue on with the game. No sandworm either. We are definitely just gonna keep moving on. Anybody familiar with the run knows, like, basically every place is dangerous, but, like, even more so now because, like, we are definitely at a lower level than we typically are, even in an NMG speedrun setting, so things are actually fairly scary from here. That's why I'm saving a lot, because it's very likely I can die anywhere. So we're gonna do some more glitching again. This time it's all about glitching our technique menus to get access to something we shouldn't have access to yet. So we're gonna be in, we're gonna save, we're gonna reset. And this is probably the one I have the hardest time with. This is not usually the part I have the hard time with. That's the part I have a hard time with. The timing is just a little bit different and it's all frame perfect. So it's like, and you have to get certain ones consecutively or else you have to start over, which is what makes it difficult. So if I miss that last one, I have to start the whole thing over again. So I might be here a while. I apologize. I think I'm too late. There we go. Open the tech menu, we store it, we leave, go back in. Now I want to set up a macro. Hit B, now I have access to Nawat, which I should not have until a way higher level. If I B out, I'll also soft lock the game. So I have to go into the inventory and then I open enough menus it allows me to walk out. That's the only way to do that without locking the game. Set up a new macro with monomates. Yeah, save it because we could definitely get owned in here. So even though, you know, when you get Rune, yes, he's overpowered and overleveled for that point in the game. See ya, Alice. But at this point in time, he's whatever, and everybody else is still, you know, level 3 or 4 or whatever. And so our agility rolls are not particularly high. It can be hard to escape. And it really just takes 1 or 2 times of run failure to die, because all 3 people in front are going to get 1 shot, like straight up. And even Rune is Rune, so even though he has 93 HP, his physical defense is really low, even with the shields. They're the lowest level shields that we have. So, see ya. And so even then, he can die in 3 hits, no problem. Even if they're not criticals. So the hope here is that you can just make it to Juza without any issue. Now Nawat is a top tier ability, but it's still just Rune by himself, and Nawat only does so much damage. It does good damage, especially for where we are, but it's still going to take some time. So it's going to take 8 casts to kill Juza. In the meantime, Juza can still do decent damage, especially with Force Flash, so I will have to watch my health. You can see the cool part of getting now a lot early is just busting out, 170 damage. It's really nice. He's being pretty friendly. May as well take it safe anyway. So Force Flash is really the only thing that does real damage. Everything else is kind of like slowly get whittled down. Alright, so we just need 2 more casts. So despite whatever he does, I'm just going to cast again because he'll die this turn. I went first anyway, so it doesn't matter. And there you go. See ya. Easy peasy. Let's go ahead and heal because you can definitely still get encounters on the way up to Demi. And then we need to redo some macros. Alright, so we got standard cutscene, even though our party is totally whack. I mean, you would have Alice, Han, and Chaz for sure, but you would absolutely not have Rune. You would have Grizz instead. And you would have Rika as well. So my party is definitely still messed up, which is actually going to have a major effect after these cutscenes. So here's our boy Zio. Standard scripted fight, nothing's gonna change here, so you just gotta wait out your turns. You may as well just hit run instead of wasting time watching animations. He will still target Chaz. You'll still enter the cutscene where Alice jumps in the way and gets owned. Still get introduced to Han's fiancé. Okay, so normally what happens, you can see Creeper Rune there in the corner, because my party is messed up now. So normally you're supposed to have that full party, and then you lose Han and Alice, and then Demi gets put into a specific party slot 4. Instead, what I have is Rune and Chaz in party slots 1 and 2. I have nobody in slot 3, and Demi gets put in slot 4, which the game absolutely can't handle. So it actually puts a Phantom party member in slot 3, which is super important. And one of the unfortunate side effects, though, of having Phantom party member number 3 is that once I open the menu and show that, the game crashes, so now I no longer have access to my menus at all. I do have the save menu, thankfully, but I cannot open my menu at all. And so now we'll just have to do our glitches a different way. No worries, dude, it's not a problem. And now we'll go to Zima and we'll enter this cutscene. Now, you'd kind of figure, well, like, why the hell am I doing this? One of the other setups for the glitch is that I actually have to have a full party of 5. So right now I have Chaz, Rune, Phantom, and Demi. And so I want to do the Biolab and get Rika to complete my party. So we'll just glitch through the menus to reach our tech menu and just Ryuka over here. And then yeah, we'll do all this. The other thing that happens as well is every time the game always redoes your attack macros, or really any macro that you have in existence, it will redo. Anytime you get a new party member, it'll just slide that party member in and with the default attack as the option in the macro. And so then when I had my glitched party member, it also tried to put that party member into the macro, and then it messes up the macros that I have set up as well. We'll make use of that as well. We don't have Grizz for Crash here. That's okay. We got Rune, so it's all good. It just took about as long as it's gonna take with Grizz anyways, because Grizz sucks. So whatever, it's fine. Okay, so here's what's going on here. I'm gonna save it. And even though technically you can see my party is Rune, Chaz, and Demi. Demi's mostly not really part of the party. I can't do anything with her. You can see she's not even walking with me. That's a weird after effect. So wherever your transition is, your characters will just stay there the whole time. Because they're supposed to follow the character in front of them, but there is no character in front of Demi, right? It's a phantom character. So they're gonna just get left behind every time. Sometimes it's just epic creepy, and I love it. But we'll see. I'll show you when it comes up. So the reason why this place sucks right now is that Chaz is really weak. Rune is physically really weak. We still don't have the agility to guarantee runs from encounters here, and you get stuck with robots, so it should just stay right there the whole time. And so you can just get gunned down here just like you would in NMG. And the main difference here is even though I have healing items, nice. Remember, I can't open the menu until all the madness is done or else I crash the game. So whatever happens, happens. Like I just have to live with the fact that I might get owned and I might die and I can't sit and heal or anything like that. It just is what it is. That's fine. As long as I can get away right here. Okay. At least you're not doing crap tons of damage, but it doesn't matter if you get stuck. Okay, so we're close to the end, but I'm clenching right now. Definitely clenching. One more screen. See you, Demi. No! Oh, God. I hate this game. Alright, we made it. Everything's fine. And we'll go ahead and start up the Rika cutscene. So maybe we can kind of recap some of the things that's going on. I took off equipment, specific equipment in a specific order to set up an inventory. I opened up a chest I wouldn't normally have opened. I leveled Chaz to 4 without updating his stats. We glitched through the barrier to the basement so that we could keep Rune. We then glitched warped our way to Aedo. We then glitched Nawad into a macro to kill Juza with. We then glitch warped to Zima to get Rika. And after Demi, we had that phantom party member as well. And yeah, that's kind of what we've done so far. Everything has a purpose, because obviously it's a speedrun, right? So like, it doesn't mean things can't change in the future, but everything we're doing has to happen. Otherwise, you would just get to the end as quickly as possible, right? That's what speedrunning is all about. So it might seem like we're doing random stuff, but like these are things you have to do, and as it stands right now, these are the fastest ways to get things done. So things can always change, you just never know. I mean, realistically, this route could maybe get cleaned up, but your times are probably going to stay the same until they utilize the existing glitches to like essentially credit warp or something like that. That's probably the only way I see like a big difference. But again, like I'm not the science expert, so I don't know for sure, obviously. Okay, so let's save it. We're gonna head back in. We are going to you're gonna settle our inventory, so I can still see my inventory in a shop at least, so I can make sure I'm good to go. We're gonna sell everything outside of the first 6 items. I didn't have to use very many monomates, so we probably have a good like 6 of those or so to get through. And then the wood cane, I don't know, it seems fine. Save it again. reset. And then we want to glitch warp again. Want to go into no. You could also just walk all the way back here if you really wanted to, but I mean, obviously that's going to be slow, so we're not going to do that. Okay. And now it's time to get our glitch on, hopefully. What's up, girls? We'll do the work. You can chill. Want to get into an encounter. And I want to get Chaz killed off. He's so weak that even defending he's going to die anyway. I want to use our glitched macro B. You can see it looks maybe just a little off. And then I want to do it again and hopefully we see some results. Boom. So we got a little bit of extra text there. Let's go ahead and get out of here. And now we're on Operation Make Chaz Cool for the first time in his life. We're gonna try. God damn it. Let's go to the inn again. What's up, girls? And then I need to save. And I'm gonna use them as a cue to where I save. Ooh, Chaz is 39 now. That's weird. Okay, alright. Let's get into a battle. Let's test our new battle prowess with Hot Chaz. Let's use the same glitched macro, and suddenly I have a full party. That's weird. And it says Alice retreated. That's weird. Whoa, dude. Now I have Alice, Seth, Grizz, Rune, and Chaz somehow. That's cool. And then I'm gonna try to leave, and it's gonna warp me into the very beginning of the game. Yes. And it literally believes I'm actually in the beginning of the game, so it actually won't let me leave. I can warp out, and it'll send me right back here with the same cutscene. And so maybe you'll think this is a little familiar, but it's like, oh, we heard about a job about monsters in a basement. Maybe we should check that out. Let's talk to the principal first, and now we're gonna watch the same exact first cutscene again. This time we're ready. We don't got just punk Chaz now. We got Seth, we got Grizz, we got Rune. We're ready. We're ready to go. We're gonna get told to shut up again. That's fine. Maybe a little bit, yeah. Okay, we got Grizz in slot 3. And so even in glitch percent, Grizz sucks, and we're gonna take Han over him. Han is specifically programmed, because normally you only have Chaz and Alice here, right? So he's programmed to take slot 3. So we're gonna replace Grizz with Han. Get owned. You better ban that guy. Alright, so see you, Grizz. We got Han now. And we're gonna do it all again. Now the reason I saved in that specific slot, you'll see in a little bit. Just keep it in mind. Just remember that I did it. Okay, now we do have to specifically change the order of our party members here. So we got Seth this time. We'll just use Corrosion. And then we'll make sure we'll work them. You have to reorder your original 3 party members back to the front. Hang on, I think Chaz is going to gain a little bit of levels. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Alright, we did it. If you don't reorder those 3 in front, you actually soft lock the game. Otherwise, from there, it doesn't really matter. Just because of like all the scripted walking they have to do, it messes the game up if they're out of order. Okay, this time we have Rune, so we can actually warp out of here. And I would otherwise warp out of the town, but again, you're actually blocked from doing so. So the last thing I need to do is talk to the principal one last time here, so we have to go through this cutscene again. From there, we're gonna do a warp, and it's gonna be based off of the last time I saved, the coordinate there. And well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so now, where do I want to warp? I guess I better pick Piata. And now it'll warp me to Dizo. Yeah. And there's just a couple of flags we just have to hit before we can finish the game. The main thing, of course, opening the spaceport. So I'm gonna do all that right now. I gotta talk to this guy to get your rumors going. Because even if you know the storyline, you know that the dungeon is here at the grave. If you don't actually talk to that guy, then the grave doesn't actually open. So you have to do that real quick. All right, Chaz is level 60. 60 is pretty much the bare minimum you want to be. There does seem to be some. It's probably not random. I'm sure just like really, really slight changes in like XP value or whatever will change everything else. But in a sense, it's random. And so he could be level. I've seen him be level 65. I've seen him be level like 52 or something like that. And obviously, the higher level he is, the better off you are. So essentially, a big part of what has happened is you've performed, when I was using those glitched macros a little while back, you were shifting byte values, moving different flags to other flags and things like that. In order to do that, you know, there's certain setups you have to have. A glitched macro, you have to have 5 party members, or one of them is a phantom party member, blah, blah, blah. So, but a lot of flags have been set due to that. I have a buff Chaz, and you can see I already have a lot of, it's playing the end-game cutscenes, because I didn't do the work, right? I just tricked the game into believing that I did the work by utilizing those glitch macros to shift some bytes around. One of them is ultra important that I'll get to a little later. I'm pretty happy with my party member. We got Seth, so that's pretty much all you need, really. So I'm happy with that, and let's go ahead and walk to the edge. We can still get so murdered here, like hilariously so. So we're still hoping for minimal encounters, and if I do happen to get into any, hopefully I can run away. Even solo Chaz, who's level 60, isn't good enough on his own to make it like ultra safe in here. So it just is what it is. This is definitely something you can run from at least, so that's good. That's fine. Okay, well, that'll work. Minimal damage. Oh no! Okay, that's fine. our remaining 2 duders to full and hope they can hang on. Ah! Death spell. Get him. Alright. Alright, everything's fine. Everything is fine. Because we have Seth. Almost there, man. Almost there. Hang on, boys. Alright, get ready for time. Oh god! I might freaking die. Yes! Time. I live PB. Still a bad time though. Still a really bad time, but and so I just want to circle us back full circle to that very first chest of 100 Meseta I picked up in the basement. The game sets a flag that you picked up the chest, but after the bite shift that happens, the flag shifts from you picked up the chest to you killed the last boss. So all you have to do is walk into the last boss's room and it triggers the ending. And then there you go. So I think I PB'd by like 40 seconds or something like that. It was feeling pretty solid up until Kadari's menu where I just took forever to do it. But we got it done, so GG. Nice run. Yeah. Yeah. 3 hours and 17 minutes we're ahead now. Oh dude, he's fishing on World of Warcraft. And yeah, thanks.